settle down. Please, settle down. Settle down, folks. Today we have an amazing show lined up today. I actually got a time machine. And we're gonna send that time machine back to 1828 because I want to get a few special guests in here. So, sit down and enjoy the Andre Show. Andre Show. Ladies and gentlemen, settle down. Now I'm gonna have to bring out my first guest right now, Mr. Andrew Jackson. Everybody, Andrew Jackson. Now, Andrew Jackson, you were presidential candidate of 1824. You were actual president in 1828. You started your own political party. Now, gotta say, how do you feel about that? Whoa, time machine. Oh, your question. Yes, there's only one way I can feel about that. I mean, the whole country chose me. I was the man of the people. I was the man, the common man, they said. And, it was disappointing because it was all about that corrupt bargain back in 1824, and I had no other option. I had to break away from the Republicans and start my own Democratic Party, like you mentioned, the Democrats. Now, what's the first question that comes to your mind? Well, I guess the first question that comes to mind when I and the viewers at home are wondering is, how are your feelings on the election of 1824, Mr. Jackson? I felt cheated in the election of 1824. I mean, I was supposed to win. If you look at the ballots, the people voted for me, Andrew Jackson, the common man. But what came down to it was John Quincy Adams and me. I guess we tied, per se, and went to the House of Representatives. And that's where I felt the most truly betrayed by members of my own party, which prompted me to start my own political party, but we'll get into that later. Anyways, like I was saying, I felt betrayed because John Quincy Adams was behind my back, made some type of bargain, I guess it was corrupt or something, with the Speaker of the House at the time, Henry Clay. And he pretty much said, hey, Henry, get all these people to vote for me, and I'll become president. You scratched my back, I scratched yours, and now he made Henry Clay his secretary. Now I felt that was really, really shady. Really, really shady. That is very interesting, Mr. Jackson. Now we're going to continue this interview after we go to some short messages. Stay tuned out there.
The Andre Show is brought to you in part by Corrupt Bargains.
Hi, and welcome back to the Andre Show. We have our guest here, Mr. Jackson, and he was just explaining to us about what went down in the election of 1824. Now, Mr. Jackson, I'm aware after you took a 4-year hiatus after John Quincy Adams became president, that you decided to run again, this time with your own political party. How did that turn out? This guy asks stupid questions. Well, I mean, if you're asking how it's turned out, it's fairly obvious. I mean, in 1828, I ended up winning. I blew John Quincy Adams out of the water. I mean, everybody voted for me. Everybody and their mothers voted for me. And the reason why is because I wasn't just appealing to the businessman, I was appealing to the everyday American. The American that gets up, goes on the farm. All those guys. Remarkable story, Mr. Andrew Jackson. And that about wraps it up here at the Andre Show. We're going to have to thank you, Andrew Jackson. And stay tuned next time when we discuss the Mann Act of 1914.